Hopefully you already watched the first video on this page covering the announcements and the course syllabus. But as a reminder, whenever you log in, you'll be on this announcements page. So it's a good idea just to check here, see if any new information has been posted that you need to be aware of. But what we want to talk about now is actually how you navigate the course. So the structure of how this course shell works, how you navigate through the information from week to week. So before you get started with anything else, you definitely want to read through the information on these different pages, which some of these orientation videos will walk you through. But the real meat of this course will be on these pages that start with Module 1 and continue down through the final exam. Wherever you see these screens with a slash through them, that means those pages are hidden from your view for right now. But as the course progresses, those will start to open up. What you can see, though, is a pattern of covering 3 modules, taking an exam. Covering 3 modules, taking an exam. Right now, what is open to you is the Module 1 page, so we can go ahead and click there and get started looking at how this information is structured. So when you click on the module page, you're going to be taken to some initial information before you actually get into any assignments, lecture videos, things like that. An overview of what we'll be covering in this module, and then a checklist of the different assignments that you need to complete by the due date. So in this case, all our Module 1 assignments will be due by January 19th at 11:59 p.m. You have 3 homework assignments to complete, 2 quizzes, one covering theory, one covering applications, and a couple of discussion posts that are required. This information's provided in the syllabus, but keep in mind a 10% penalty will be applied for any late homework assignments. But that does mean you can still get a 90% on any homework assignment if you do happen to miss the deadline. Quizzes must be completed by the due date, or you'll receive a 0. If you do have some extraordinary circumstances, there might be exceptions to that, but in general, you need to complete that quiz by the due date to receive credit. And then your first discussion post is actually due before that January 19th due date. Your 2 discussion posts do need to be completed before the deadline, or you'll receive 0s for those assignments. To get those deadlines for the discussion, we can actually go to the discussion 1 page and see this Saturday, your first discussion post is due, the second one by the following Monday. This first discussion is really just sort of a getting to know you. Since we don't really meet face-to-face, I do want to take the opportunity to at least learn a little bit about you and hopefully throughout the semester get to know you a little bit better through email or if you stop in during office hours, that sort of thing. So this first one's really an introduction where you'll be just answering some general questions, replying to a classmate, getting to know each other as well. So make sure you've got that first post completed by this Saturday and that you follow up with a reply to a classmate before Monday, January 19th. Once you're ready to start any of the individual modules, so we've got 3 separate submodules for Module 1, you can click on that page. The first one is really just an orientation. We've got some information on just how to get started with the course, checking that your computer is up to date. A temporary access code is provided here. You do need to purchase an access code, but this temporary one will get you through the first 21 days of our course. If you are able to just purchase that access code now, I would recommend just doing that. But if you do need to buy yourself a little bit of time, that's an option for you. There are a couple of videos here covering graphing with the TI-84. Our first video introducing us to using Wolfram Alpha, which I assume is probably some new technology to everyone here. They're both relatively short. Even the graphing one I would encourage you to watch just for a couple of tricks for how to more effectively graph things with the calculator. And then you'll start this first orientation homework assignment. Some of those questions will be basic if you've used MLP before, but some will be tied directly to using some of the technology that's introduced in those videos. Once you finish that assignment, you can move on to Module 1.2, Module 1.3. Typically what you'll see will be a link to any e-text sections that we're covering in that module, as well as a link to download and print the lecture notes that accompany the different lecture videos provided for you on that page. So in the lecture videos for this course, I'll be filling out some guided notes. If you, if you click on this link, that'll provide you with a copy of those guided notes that then you can download, print, fill out on your own if you want to have those available while you're watching the videos. Then once you finish up the homework assignments for 1.1 through 1.3, you can dive into the quizzes. There will always be practice quizzes available, which you can take an unlimited number of times, but you'll only receive initially one attempt at the actual quiz, unless you score 95% or better on each of the homework assignments from the module. In that case, a second quiz attempt will open up if you need it. Something to keep in mind here, on the theory portion of the quiz, I would encourage you not to use a graphing calculator, because on exam 1, which this content will be covered on exam 1, you won't be allowed to use a graphing calculator. You will have access to a 4-function calculator. So as you're taking this quiz, I would encourage you to not use your graphing calculator, or if you are using it, restrict yourself to just using those 4 basic operations. When you get to the application portion, you'll want to open Wolfram Alpha and make use of that to answer any questions that show up on those application portion of the quizzes. So that's how pretty much the pattern will repeat from week to week. Once we get past exam 1, you will be able to start using a graphing calculator on the quizzes and exams. It's just this initial early information that won't be allowed. But each week a new module will open up over on the left-hand side. You'll also receive some communication from me through email or through that announcements page, just updating you on any pertinent information, due dates, and the like. But at any point, if you have any questions, please feel free to get in touch with me through email, stop in and see me, or find some way to get a hold of me, and we'll make sure those questions get answered.